Why do you think it's a draw?
Well, Zepeda's throwing loads of punches. And I don't think a lot will land in.
He's landed more than double the amount of punches. He's landed more than double the amount of power punches.
I think I was just expecting a bit more from him. He disappointed me.
But I think that's because Farmer's tougher than what people give him credit for, I think.
With Zepeda, I think he's got a chance to be world champion.
I think he's world champion material, but I don't think he's at the elite level of them. Welcome back to BoxCast. Today we're going to look back at the weekend's fights of William Zepeda and Tevin Farmer, the rematch, and Oscar Collazo and Cano in the minimum weight unified contest. So let's start with Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer rematch. Majority decision win for Zepeda. So, yeah, what did you think of this fight? Yes. Zepeda did what Zepeda did. I think Farmer got, I think the saying is elbow or arm, left arm was injured at some point in about the third round or something. Although he kept on fighting, third or fourth round, and I think he kept on fighting. But more one-sided contest.
No.
I thought it was more one-sided.
Well, you didn't know how to score fights, so it's all right.
Yeah. I think the draw card was like ridiculous.
No, I had a draw.
A draw?
Yeah.
On what basis? I think this fight was far wider than the first one. Zepeda won by a mile.
I had 114.
No, I had about 116, 112.
But like I say, you don't know how to score fights, has been proven in
the
the
AI
past.
says I'm always right.
And AI is always wrong.
The AI
either
is
way,
more objective.
Either way, Shakur destroys Zepeda.
I think he did more than this because he was more defensively aware. I think the first fight they underestimated Farmer a little bit. I think in this he's sort of tweaked his defense, so he wasn't going in with his head out. And I think the first fight was a little bit. I think because he got knocked down, I think it blurred the score a bit more. Because if you actually look at the rest, I'm not sure it was that close. I mean, if you look at the punches, here we go, CompuBox. It's the total punches is punch that total punch. I just have to double check the numbers. It's like total punches landed 344, 130 to the body, 974 thrown. Zepeda. And Farmer was 679 thrown, 152 landed, so 43 to the body. So Zepeda's it's thrown nearly 1,000 punches and landed at about a over 35% rate. And Farmer's thrown nearly 700, but at 22 and a bit, about 22.5%. Yeah, I think on that's about reflective because I think the first fight Farmer did better work. He was more accurate. He was better. I don't think he was in this. I think they're about equal on the quality of punching. So I think it was like that score reflects, about double in favour of Zepeda. I don't think it was that because I don't think there's a round. There's only the last round, which was Farmer's quite clearly. But even then, if you look, it's only 27 to 23 landed punches, even though it looked far wider.
That's why you can go off CompuBox. If you go CompuBox, Zepeda won every single round.
Yeah.
That's just
no, I don't think that's correct.
It's not correct.
No, I'm just giving you illustrations.
This
the first fight.
That's why CompuBox can muddle things.
Well, it doesn't take into account the quality of the punches.
No, it doesn't.
But I think, like I said, in this fight, the punching quality was more even. At some of the moments where Zepeda was better. So I gave about 4 rounds, 3 going into it was like basically 3 for Farmer and the rest for Zepeda going into the last round, and I gave the last round to Farmer. So 8-4 for me.
I found it quite a boring fight as well.
Well, the thing is, I'd like to watch Zepeda again. I was thinking if Farmer wins, it wasn't that interesting for me. I don't think it was that good.
No, it was
Zepeda is because he's relentless. And the amount of punches thrown is he's got a round here with 118 punches. 5th round, he threw 118 punches. The one where he nearly had him out. I mean, you got to give credit to Farmer. I think the amount of body shots he took, actually, I've got the stat. Like, there's 130 body shots, but you got to take into account that's 119 power punches to the body. It's ridiculous. There's like 10 power punches to the body every round. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think I was just expecting a bit more from Zepeda.
Apart from the last round, I think he did quite well. Because I think Farmer's better than people give him credit for.
Yeah, Tevin Farmer is a lot better.
What do you think of the size? Farmer looks huge compared to Zepeda. And when we did the first, I think we said Farmer was coming up, but he's 130. I don't know how, because he looks about like 30-40% bigger than
he's
Zepeda.
A big man.
Yeah. And he's very sharp with his shots, and he's got some clever like tricks. But I think Zepeda didn't really. I think he was far more defensively aware. Didn't put his chin out. Didn't take unnecessary chances. And yeah, professional performance. I think Farmer did get hindered by if he's really injured his arm, I think he was hindered from that point. Although he kept throwing it, I don't think he had the pop enough to slow Zepeda down. So they're going. Why do you think it's a draw? Because, like I said, I can't see Farmer getting. The most rounds I can give to him is 4.
Well,
and the only clear one is the last one.
I didn't. Although Zepeda's throwing loads and punches, I don't think a lot were landing.
No, he did land a lot. Well, the stats say he landed a lot, and they were quality.
The stats.
He's landed more than double the amount of punches. He's landed more than double the amount of power punches.
So the stats,
double amount of jabs.
That's not what I saw. And boxing's objective, like we say. Zepeda, I think I was just expecting a bit more from him. He disappointed me.
Okay.
I wanted him to really put a statement out, and he didn't. In my eyes, he didn't put a statement out.
But I think that's because Farmer's tougher than what people give him credit for, I think. Rather than... It's not that he didn't try to get him out of there. I think he was pretty... he did his best.
Do you think Shakur took Farmer out?
Do you think Shakur? No. Javonta would. Although on his last performance, I'm not even sure he would do. Well, my concern with Zepeda, my thinking was a bit different. I think Zepeda versus Shakur would be a good fight. I think Shakur, has the ability to fight on the back foot. So I think and he's defensively aware enough that he'll probably beat him on a fight on points. I think the problem I see with Zepeda is he gets caught. I just don't think Farmer had the pop, either with his injury or anyway, even naturally, because we've said he's not a big puncher. I think somebody with a big punch catches him with like the uppercuts or the other things when he's on his way in. Yeah, he's got a problem. Now, maybe he wouldn't fight like that if he wasn't. He was he'd fight a bit more defensive if he was more concerned about what's coming back. But on that, I would be more. I think that's a better fight. From the first fight, I was more like, well, I think we said in our review video that, Shakur and the other people in that division would destroy him. I'm not so sure on that because there's a ridiculous amount of work output. I think he made Farmer. Like, Farmer was basically on the back foot all rounds, apart from the last. Go on, what you're thinking. I was just going to bring up what's his names. So who do you think? Shakur? Yeah, Shakur, because I think he's defensively, but like...
I think Zepeda's going to cause a few people issues with his work rate. Mm-hmm. But just work rate alone ain't going to cut it at that top elite level.
Yeah, I think he's world class. Yeah, elite level. Then that's where I would have concerns because, like I said, he gets to be on in the first rounds up to around round 5. There's a little bit in the first round. There's a little bit in the third round because I think they give the third round to Farmer. But like the fifth one, where he nearly. I think up to there, you were thinking his defensively, he's tightened up a lot. He has, and he was more patient.
He has tightened up his defence. I will give him that.
But like in the later rounds, like you see, he gets caught again. Whether it was just because he thinks, all right, I can take this. I'm not really worried about what's coming back, or he was taking it again. Because in this one, what I liked that he changed from the first one, in the first fight, there was those bits where Farmer had his pops, 4 or 5 punch combinations, really slick, and then he'd be out of there. In this one, every time he tried to do it. It wasn't 3-4. It wasn't like 4 or 5 punches. It was like 2 or 3 punch combos that he got hit with because he dodged them. But the other thing is he'd immediately reply, give him like that with interest. So he'd reply with a bigger combo. And some of the body shot, like the body shot's ridiculous. 119 body shots, power punch landing. I think that's just to say Farmer's like pretty... he's pretty robust.
Yeah, I
don't think many fighters would take that many body shots. I was wincing watching it. The amount of body shots he got hit by. Because he's only been like Murataya is only beaten on points in a close, similar type score cards. Diaz again, similar type score cards. So he's pretty robust at this. Like, wait, that's a 130, isn't it? So 135. Yeah, see, at 135, he's basically won he's won the fights by 2 KOs, a decision fairly close. And then he's had his, it's Murataya and Zepeda, so he's a tough fight.
Yeah, I think with Zepeda, I think he's got a chance to be world champion.
I think he's world champion material, but I don't think he's at the elite level of them, at least from what we've seen here.
Yeah.
He's potential, but I think he'd have to change a little bit against a Gervonta. Ignore Gervonta Davis' last fight in normal Gervonta Davis mode, because he's going to catch you with a hard shot. He gets caught. Now, whether his chin can take it or not, but that's a different thing. If he can take it, then all right, then it's but I think he's a tough fight for anybody.
Yeah, he will be a tough fight because, like I say, his work rate alone is
ridiculous. It's not even good. It's ridiculous. 1,000 punches.
I just don't see him as elite.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's world class, but he's not. From what we've seen in this, he's not elite yet. He hasn't shown enough to say that he's elite. He's
but I think he will. I think he
even a Keyshawn.
He's won the fight.
Yeah.
He's beat Tevin Farmer twice now. Mm-hmm. So he does move on. Does he deserve a world title shot? Yeah, most probably. He does. I like that he has improved from the last time.
I think they underestimated Farmer in the last one more than.
I mean, we were saying that at the start when we didn't really give Farmer a chance. We both did say Zepeda will have learned.
I think
from
this time they took him more seriously and worked out his things. And like I said, I think it was more clear this time. I don't see the draw. I can see 115, 113 because it depends how you score. But I think it was like a bit wider.
Tevin Farmer has injured his arm. I mean, he can come back.
Oh, the robustness.
Yeah, he can definitely come back.
I was watching it, Winston, at the body shots when he was doing those 4 or 5 body shots, and you're thinking clean catching him, and then and even then when he managed to get him to lower his hands with the body shots, hitting them straight up. And in the 5th round, he looked like he was out. And then the 6th round, he comes back and wins, and you're like, what? His recovery, and even in the, was it 8th or 9th where he got rocked, and he basically recovered straight away and then, sort of finished the round better. I think, there's a lot of...
Good conditioning.
Yeah. I think both of them got credit out of that. More than the first fight, I think both of them got credit out of that. I think first fight, more Farmer got credit. But I think, correct result. And he's done. So we'd like to see him move on, isn't it? I want to see the fight with others because I want to see how he copes. Yeah. Can he improve that other? Can he go up another level or two?
Do you know what it is with him? Because, like I say, I do think he will cause the others problems. I'd like to see how the others deal with his relentless pressure.
That's the thing. It's easy saying it, but it's pressure. Even Farmer struggled with it's a ridiculous amount of output. So, Shakur, I think, because he's back foot, but so is Gervonta. They sort of suited to it. Keyshawn would be interesting.
Yeah, but the thing is they can fight on the back foot with single shots. What about when they throw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots at a time on the back? It's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting fight with all of them, and I think then we'll see if he is. Because at the moment, I'm with you. I wouldn't put him in the elite class. I think he's world class. He can win a world title level. It'd be interesting to see him fight any of those because the styles would make it really interesting fight. And can he relentlessly pressure
like
those?
Like you're saying, that's it. Styles make fights, and I think Zepeda Farmer, their styles, for me, didn't make a great fight.
I think Farmer's too awkward for his.
So...
But he got through it, and I think he's improved in the second fight and coped with it more. Yeah, maybe a bit down to Farmer's injury, but yeah, I don't think this was that close. I think it's the right result. Okay, on the undercard, our man Oscar Collazo. We should go on our predictions first. Sorry, we said we did go for KOs, which is I think why you're disappointed. I think what we had. I had 8th round KO and you had 5th round KO for Zepeda. So yeah, we had him win and we were correct on the win. Okay, so Oscar Collazo and Edwin Cano. I think we were a bit more accurate on this. I think you had round 4 KO and I had round 5. So, and it was a round 5 KO. Collazo's a beast.
At that weight he is, yeah.
Well, that's what I said, innit? He's one to watch because he's like and he's got, the thing I liked is he's got every punch. Left or right hand, uppercuts, straight, jab, straight, right, left or right, hooks, body, face, everything is just relentless as well on punching. I'm just going to bring up his... And Cano's quite tough because I was definitely wincing on the body shots on this one.
He just basically ground him down, didn't he?
Wore him out, and then eventually the body shots just took.
He just pounded him. It was basically, but like it was pounded him into submission.
He's quite tough at that one. And then if we go to that sort of size, he is he's the ring number 1, but I think he's the best at that. The interesting one at that weight. So I think he can clean up there. It's whether he can jump up because then, you're going into there are other fighters in the other things. But I think after Bam Bam, he's the next in that lower weight coming up. And he showed it. There's not much more thing in that.
No,
Cano was tough.
The problem is it's quite a weak division. Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, no, there's good fighters in it, but there's no names. That's the problem he got from...
So, if he can move up...
The name was the guy he fought in the last one. And
if he can move up, and it's what I'd say, and see how we get on in it.
And he's only his 12th fight. So I think he's got time to...
Oh, he's got a hell of a lot of time.
So I think he can clear out that... Because there are some tough fighters there. But I think he's a cut above all of them. And then it's, whether he can cope with going up and then get to a division where it's, as there's more names in it.
Yeah.
But one to watch.
Definitely one to watch.
Yeah, I enjoyed the boxing. Let's see, a bit one-sided, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah, let's see if he can go through them weights.
Yeah. And his was stats, basically, So, he's landed like basically nearly 4 times as many punches as Cano, and just wore him down. And the body shots was just
sickening.
Power punches were, he just, like you said, the best description I think is just ground him down.
Yeah.
But because I thought he was going to go in a few of the other rounds, but Cano did try, but it was just inevitable.
Yeah,
really.
Just basically, I think at the end of that 5th, he was like, I've had enough here. I'm just going to lie down. Because
it looked like it was like a delay, and then he looked like he's gone. And then he just, he basically stuck a turtle.
I'm just going to lie down on the floor.
Yeah, it's done now.
Like a dog.
Because I thought he was going to get up first, and then he's looking at it.
He was like a dog. I'm going to lie down on the floor and wait in the air and just show you my submission.
Yeah. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one to watch. Keep an eye out for Asuka Collazo. Yeah, let us know what you think of Zepeda, what you think of the performance compared to the first one. What do you think of his performance anyway? Do you think he's elite, or do you think he can win a world title considering the names in the other contenders in his division? And who would you like to see him fight next? And yeah, and if you know a bit about Collazo, let us know about that as well. And we shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.